All right, listen, boys and girls, tough cookies. How lucky are we today, this evening, to have one of the legends of rock and roll? A man who needs no introduction. He's been in this business for 65 years. Sweet Papa D, the Wanderer, the man who created Bronx blues, the king of the New York streets, the man himself talking to you, coming to you from Florida. Dion DiMucci, how are you, baby?
Adam, if I didn't know me, I might be impressed. That was great. Thank you.
You should be impressed. I thought maybe to introduce you, I would do the opening to I Wonder Why, but you would do it better than me, I think. I can't ever nail that.
Well, I can't tell you how many people greet me like that. You know, Taj Mahal, Robert Plant, Peter Townsend. Yeah, when I see them, they don't say hello. They Some of them just put out their hand. They go den 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 den.
Da, da, da. So D, I just want to let you know how far back I go with you. I've got you here. I've
Yeah.
got you
Oh
here.
my God.
I've got you here.
I
I've got
noticed. I
Sandy
noticed.
record.
I noticed Charlie Patton back there. That's
Yeah. And also, one thing we have in common is our love for Skip James.
Oh wow, yeah, my man, yeah,
And I also have your book.
sweet guy. Well, thank you. Yeah,
D, did you ever get to meet Skip James?
I did at the Newport Jazz Festival in 1964. Very sweet guy, you know. He was a preacher's kid, so he talked about God and he talked about the blues, you know,
You
and
know,
he was a good guy though. Had a sweetheart.
Dion, you grew up in the Bronx. How did blues from the South reach your ears? I mean, I don't imagine it was on the radio in New York City in the 50s. How did it hit your ears?
I know I was a weird kid, you know. Everybody was listening to Jimmy Roselli and I don't know, Frank Sinatra, the crooners, the Jerry Vale, you know.
Yeah.
And I tuned into one of those late at night under the blankets. I tuned in with my little transistor. I must have hit a country station in Wheeling, West Virginia or something, and I heard Jimmy Reed,
Yeah.
and it changed my life. It changed my life. Got me running, got me hiding, got me run hide. Yeah.
Here we are, and you're sort of back to your roots. You're sort of back to your roots, back to that true love that you have, that torch that you carry for the blues. And you have an absolutely sensational new record that I'm so excited to have my viewers tonight check out. It's called Blues with Friends. Now, it's a stacked lineup, okay? You got Van Morrison, Van the Man, you got Bruce Springsteen and Patty, you got Little Steven, you got Brian Setzer. I love the track with Samantha Fish. She did a fabulous job.
It shows you that the blues is a community. We listen together. We play together. We have fun together. You're never alone with the blues.
Of all the songs on this record, the one that gave me the chills, it's worth the price of admission for Blues with Friends just for the track that you did with Paul Simon called Song for Sam Cooke, Here in America.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Especially in these times. Well, when I travel with Sam Cooke, I traveled with him for about 6 weeks, and I was rough around the edges. I was from the Bronx. He was a preacher's kid, and he wasn't afraid to talk about God. And he was he was the brightest guy in the room. He never got mad at anybody. I saw people call him names, and I was like, Sam, why don't you knock that guy's life, Once you throw him a right hook, he was like, Dion, I'm not going to lower myself to that level. That's a peculiar way to become a man, you know. And he was the one who he taught me. He taught. I think he wanted to change the world. He wrote "A Change Is Going to Come," you know. But the way he did it was through his music, through his writing, through singing, and but most of all through friendship, through understanding, through love, through brotherhood. And that's what the song is about. And when I played it for Paul Simon, he was on, track right away with me. He said, Dion, I love to, I could hear what I want to do already.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a song, it's a song about him understanding me and
Yeah.
about the way he taught me when I was 19 years old and we were running through Memphis. And I did a couple of tours with him, and he was a great man, beautiful guy.
Listen, Dion, we got a lot of people that watch this show that are stressed out. Okay. We call the show Tough Cookies because the people that watch the show, they are tough cookies. Okay. People go through hard times. We have people that have lost their jobs. We have people that have
Yeah.
lost loved ones. We have people out there on the front lines of various crises in our country and our world. Your music has always been so uplifting, so joyful, spiritual. I'm just wondering if you would feel comfortable just giving a little bit of encouragement to our viewers right now. What can we look forward to in the world?
Well, I don't know. There's a there's a song on the album called "Hymn to Him,"
Yes.
and I did it with Patti Scialfa and Bruce Springsteen, and it's a beautiful song that kind of gets us out of ourselves because like music does. If we didn't have the form of the blues where you could express yourself, your joys, your sorrows, your your fears, just your frustration, we just wind down and explode. We'd wind down into ourselves. But music gets us out of ourselves. It gets us closer to each other and closer to God. It's like Saint Augustine said, or Augustine said, he said, when you sing, you pray twice. It's like when I'm inside a song and I'm riding the wave, I know exactly who I am. I learned a long time ago to look at myself first and try to, you know, ask God to change me to meet life. How could I serve? How could I love others? How could I make it better, not worse? And love is an action. It's a decision. It's a choice. It's an act of your will. It's not just a feeling. It's a decision. It's
Yeah.
not just a feeling. Otherwise, you get caught up in yourself. You know what I'm talking about, Adam?
I do, D. Listen, last thing I want to ask you is the liner notes to the new record, Blues with Friends, was written by your good pal, Bob Dylan. The two of you both started out on Columbia Records. You were the very first rock and roll artist to be signed to Columbia Records. And the two of you are both, I believe, carrying the torch for soulful blues music. Okay? And I'm just so thankful that you're both with us, creating fabulous music. I want to thank you for maintaining your vocal instrument for 65 years. You sound phenomenal. How do you do it?
Well, to be honest with you, about 52 years ago, when I was 28, I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking because I was hanging out with Frankie Lyman, using drugs, drinking, smoking. I was a mess, and he died. He died in 1968 February. And to be honest with you, Adam, I got on my knees. I asked God for help. I said, God, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but if you're real, I need some help. And when I got up, I was changed. And I haven't had a drug or a drink in 52 years. I think that has something to do with it. But
I
when I
think
finished this album, I just wanted to tell everybody I couldn't plan this album if I tried, Adam. It's called Blues with Friends, and it has it has Stevie Van Zandt on it, and Van Morrison, and Jeff Beck, and Joe Bonamassa, and Springsteen, and Paul Simon, and stuff. But when I finished it, I thought, I'd like somebody maybe to write something, somebody who understands the blues. Now, Bob Dylan, you and I know he's the greatest songwriter of the 20th century and beyond. And
Yeah.
he won a Nobel Prize, so the man knows how to put words to page. So I sent him the album. He loved it. And he wrote some liner notes. And he says not to, they're beautiful. And they're very meaningful. And he says not to pay too. And first of all, he complimented me as a songwriter, which I'll take. He said, I really know how to craft a song.
You do.
Thank you, Bob. He always writes something. For some reason, he makes you understand something you never understood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I saw Bob Dylan right after 9/11 in New York City at Madison Square Garden. And I remember turning to my friend and saying, it sounds like he wrote all these songs 5 minutes ago,
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, Dion, we could talk all day, but listen, I just want to thank you for your art. I hope that we get 20 more Dion records. I wish you nothing but health, happiness for you and your family. I know you just hit #1 on the blues charts. I think this record is fabulous, and I wish you all the luck in the world with it. If you ever need a piano player, you know who to ask. And the next time you're in Philly, we'll get some spaghetti and meatballs together, my friend.
Adam, I should be interviewing you. Your music is great. I love it. And thank you. It's great to be with you.
Listen, take care of yourself, Dion. All the best. You're a real tough cookie.
You stay well, Adam. God bless you.
You too.
Rock on.